Hey YouTubers, Grimmy here, and this is the video review for Transformers Generations Rattrap. Whether you know him as the sarcastic demolitions expert and spy for the Maximals, or the sarcastic second in command for Starscream, he is a very well-loved character and a very well-written one. And his figure is actually done pretty well, taking more after the Beast Wars incarnation than the IDW comics, but still there's enough to get the idea from the IDW version as well. So without further ado, let's take a look. Now, just like all the other Generations Deluxes in the IDW line, Rattrap comes with a comic book that has this beautiful image of Rattrap on the cover. Looks really well done, has a Maximal symbol at the corner. A lot of nice touches to this. But that's where it kind of ends, because as big of a role as Rattrap plays in the Dark Cybertron story arc, which the comic actually is of, it's from that, I'm sorry. Rattrap does not have a single part in the comic he is included with. Not one. Which is the big downer. I mean, there were plenty of issues where Rattrap was actually pretty prominent. A lot of the issues before Rattrap came out, like included with the other figures, Rattrap was actually in them a lot. He had a lot of lines, a lot of panels, and it's a real shame that he doesn't get that same love in the comic that's included with him. Granted, if you are buying the series or just pretty much read the Dark Cybertron comics already, you know what you're getting. So you've seen Rattrap in all of those, so you know who he is. But seriously, they should have included him in the comic that he comes with. You know, they should have give him a part, or give him a comic where he has a part. You know. Okay, enough about this little tangent. Let's get to Rattrap himself. Now, Rattrap's beast mode is quite obviously a rat. And it's actually a well done one too. You got a lot of nice fur sculpted in, so you can actually see plenty of sculpted detail on this guy. You can see he looks really nice in his rat mode. Well done feet. There is a robot kibble on the belly, and the location of the gun storage can be taken in an inappropriate manner, but at least he does have storage. Okay, but he has actually articulation. His head can move up and down, like so, to get like a more standing pose. I don't know why exactly you'd want to do that, because it exposes the belly too well, which has all the robot kibble. But he also has a flap, like a plastic bit to make the back a little smoother, which is a really nice touch. If he actually had a covered up belly, that looks like a real rat's belly, it would have been a really good touch, but and it would have really justified standing him upright like this. But when you turn him around like this, yeah, you kind of lose that whole thing. It's unfortunate, but I do applaud the effort. And as far as other articulation goes, he does have an opening and closing mouth. Opens up just like that. The arms will rotate forward and back. And they can pop off very easily, so just be careful. He does have a wrist swivel. And he has hinges at his feet. And the tail can move up and down, and actually has a wire built into it, so it'll hold poses. Again, nice touch. I do worry that that wire will break eventually, but it seems pretty solid for right now, at least. Yeah, and obviously that, as I shown earlier, the head can move up and down and does have a plastic flap that can be hard, can stick. It will stick if you're not careful, but it does have that plastic flap to cover for the head, so you can actually, you know, have them sniffing the ground if you want, you know, looking for clues. And you know, one thing on mine came out of the package, there was a bit of a scratch on the eye. I'm not sure if that was just a flaw on my part or if it just chipped while taking him out of the box, but you might want to take him out carefully. Now, I don't have the vintage Rattrap, and my Transmetal one is in storage right now, so I can't really get it out. But we'll do some comparisons. Like we got, well, we'll not do the vintage Rhinox, but we'll actually put them with Rhinox here. And Waspinator, who both came out in the same line. And there is one more, which would be the 10th Anniversary Series Dinobot. I don't have the Universe 2.0 version of Dinobot, but you know, this one still is a very usable version of the character. So we'll just go with that. So you can see he does scale pretty well with the other Beast Wars generations, and even some of the original Beast Wars figures. Now granted, Rattrap's like depicted as a very short and small guy, so he might be a little bit too big for some, but I think he looks pretty good. So let's get him into robot mode and see how he looks there. Now that we have Rattrap in his robot mode, I can honestly say he does a really good job of invoking his original Beast Wars self. I mean, this figure looks great. I mean, he's nice sized, colored just right, maybe a little bit too much of the peach parts on the hips, but other than that, it's not a bad figure at all. Like I said, really does look like the old TV show counterpart. There's still some kibble issues, but you know, that can't be helped in a complex transformer like him. But anyway, he does look pretty good. And he's actually pretty well set too. I mean, articulation's really nice on him. He's got ball jointed head, so he can look, well, actually I think it's on a swivel, and he's got a little bit of a hinge here, so he has up and down movement. So it's like a ball joint. But yeah, you got rotations at the head, a little hindered just by the way it is, but he does a good job. He's got some pretty tight ball joints in the shoulders. In fact, the transformation hinges might give before the joint does. It's not, can be a problem, but at least you know it's going to hold a pose. He has a bicep swivel, and sadly no wrist, which is a shame, but I can live with it. He has no waist joints given the way he transforms. He has a ball jointed hip, thigh swivel. Well, both his hips are ball jointed, obviously. He has knee bends and nothing at the ankles. So he has some limits to his articulation, but he still can pull up some nice poses. And especially some good sharpshooter ones. So that's pretty cool. For his accessories, he has his blaster, which can actually separate into, well, as soon as I can get it, 2 guns. So you can have one in one hand and one in the other. I do like the combining gun gimmick, and because it really does give you options to pose them with, and you don't have to worry about weapons being loose. So yeah, the combining gun gimmick is pretty nicely done. And he does have another accessory which does a great job of homaging a feature on the Beast Wars TV show. And that is, once I get this thing ready, hidden on his wrist, which, by the way, has some really nice maximal symbols templed right on it. Sorry, technical glitch, but as I was saying, both wrists have this nice little maximal symbol templed right onto it. And the left wrist actually has an opening compartment which reveals one of his handy demolition charges, which fit nice and I'll give you a peek at it, what it looks like. As you can see, it's nice. It's just a piece of clear plastic, but it's his bomb. Which fits right in his hand, and you can have him place it anywhere you want. But yeah, you got demolition charges included. Well, you get one, which works out pretty nicely for him. But I guess we should do some size comparisons. I think the most obvious one that we should do is with the Wavemate. Well, not Wavemate, actually. These guys came out separate. But, you know, the other generation's Beast Wars dude who came out, well, the other Maximal. Waspinator's still in beast mode, so I'm not going to be putting him in the shot. But we can put him with old Rhinox, but I can get his hips to stay still. As you can see, Rattrap and Big Green look pretty good together. And they actually do scale pretty well, too. We'll also add into the mix the Deluxe 10th anniversary Optimus Prime. Well, Optimus Primal, I'm sorry. And one that I don't think we could ever go without. And that is old Chopper Face himself, Rattrap's arch nemesis in Beast Wars, even though they were on the same side. 10th anniversary Dinobot. And yeah, those two actually look pretty good together. Although Rattrap probably should be a teeny bit shorter. Although at least he is shorter than Dinobot. At least this version of Dinobot. I don't know how he scales with the Universe 2.0 version. I never got the privilege of holding that toy. But he does look pretty good with the other Maximals. In case you're wondering, since Takara's re-releasing this particular version of Optimus for their Legends line. We got Ultra Class Optimus Primal from the 10th Anniversary series. as you can see, that version of Optimus is considerably taller, which might work for their scale together, but ultimately does not work well for the Beast Wars recreations, I guess. But yeah, get him out of the picture. Now, I do love Rattrap's paint job. I think it looks great, and I adore it. And I really think, and Rattrap was one of the coolest characters on that series. He and Dinobot were probably one of the highlights of the entire show. So it's great to have Rattrap in my collection. But anyway, I do hope that you've enjoyed this little review, and I'll see you next time. Take care, have fun, and bye-bye.